right, continuing on here with our last topic there from Three for Madness. Kind of want to clean up some of the details I was talking about with, at least with Sacramento State and Cal Expo have been discussing, or at least allegedly discussing. Let's see. Both Sac State and Cal Expo. Looks like there's going to be an agenda item that has been made on Cal Expo's public meeting that is set for Thursday, August 28th, to talk about whether or not the merits of this make sense. When the arena was built downtown, and I knew when that process was being discussed years ago, we were on this very radio station talking about building downtown, what that could mean, what that could do for downtown. It really has helped. I mean, I sometimes need to see things to their full materialization before I can fully get on board. I don't have the best vision. If someone's like, "Hey, we're remodeling our house, we're going to put this here, this there, this there," and I'm like, I kind of can't picture it as well as I should until it's done. I go, man, this is beautiful. What a transformation. Well, we were here saying, look, I think what this can do would be great possibilities for downtown, and it's materialized even to much more than I even envisioned. And so we're coming up on year 10 of the Golden One Center, and I think that's been wildly successful as far as what the goal was, what the premise behind it was, what it's done for the general area, and still over years, I think it's going to get even better. I mean, restaurants and different things have come in, and just opportunities and events, and the arena is still in amazing shape, and just lots and lots of people have been able to enjoy lots of different things, from graduations to games to concerts to the circus to whatever it is, Monster Truck. We've all know Disney on Ice. It's all been there, and that's been fun. Great opportunities for people of our region. I think the same could be said for the Republic. We're breaking ground today on a new stadium downtown. So, downtown, there's a situation where you could have soccer right there, basketball, baseball still been there, whether it's the River Cats A's or just the River Cats if the A's end up moving on. So we're really putting together a nice kind of options for not just the sporting entities there, but other things to happen in these venues. So with Sacramento State and their desire to move up, to go FBS, to have the best possible football level, which, look, there's a risk, but there could be a reward to that. And their plans to try to build a stadium on campus. And, a lot of the things from what the Sac-12 has said and some of the, almost pledges and promises that are out there, I'm all for. I want to see everything happen that those that have these visions desire. I think it'd be awesome. I really do, for this area. If Sacramento State could get to that level, could get to the things that they want, and that the Sac-12 and the president and the school entities desire, I can see that. That's one I don't need help seeing that vision. I see it. I know what they've done, how they've built the program already. I've been out there for so many years, from where there wasn't a Broad facility, and there were portables in the one end zone, and that stadium has lived. It's Fred Anderson Stadium, Hornet Stadium, the track, the $1 million track at the time. They've had track and field trials. It's served its purpose. It's done amazing, and they've done a lot of renovations over the years. And to me, as someone that's called their games for a long, long time, I think the track, as great as it is, I would love to see the stadium without the track, scrunched in tight, get everybody, make it feel really intimate, and have a loud, raucous stadium that's got all the bells and whistles that every other stadium has. It doesn't need to have 70,000 seats. It could have 15,000, but if it's put together nicely, and a nice press box, good facilities, best concessions, parking, tailgating, all that, I can see all that and it being wildly successful and utilized for many, many things. So I get the desire and the want to have it on campus. I get the desire and the want to have it even be a bigger stadium than that for goals of moving up to a higher level. And now all of a sudden you're able to host bigger time teams coming in because of the facility. And maybe you're making the kind of money that the university would like to see that other power teams make. And you could, pay for teams to come in. And all of a sudden the draw is like, wow, Team X is coming to play at Sacramento State. Yep, they are. And it's on television and they're bowl eligible and all that. I can see it. And some are saying you got to walk before you crawl and crawl before you run and all that kind of stuff. Or, what, I have that wrong. You got to crawl before you walk and then walk before you run. They've been doing that. They've been putting the pieces together. They've been building a program. They've been successful here the last couple of years. I know last year was a down year, but I don't know that you have to be successful on the field to make this jump. There's some people like, well, win multiple national championships before you make the jump. I don't think that has to be done. The bigger question is, do they have the ability to make this happen? And the fact that at the moment, things are slower on campus. It's more difficult to do. The desire to jump to the FBS hasn't just happened because you do need an invite. They're still wanting to. They still want to go to the Pac-12. They still would like to probably go to the Mountain West. They still would like to go to another FBS level. Again, you need the invite. They talked about going independent. I personally, this is my opinion, I don't love that idea, but that's me. I mean, if they do it, I'll be all on board, and we'll go forward and see what they can do. We heard the reports last week about, the Causeway Classic being in jeopardy because Sac State, as of now, going into 2026, doesn't have a whole lot of games on their schedule, not a lot of guarantees. Davis will stay in the Big Sky. They've added 2 new teams. They're going to have 9 league games. That leaves them with 3 non-league, and their 3 non-league are booked. Well, Sacramento State could jump on that and help maybe take on one of those teams and get the Causeway back in play, but you also have to have Davis agree to that. So the Hornets are in a little bit of that kind of spot where they're willing to do a lot of things, but they need some people being willing to help out on the other side of things. And so that brings us back to the Republic, who are breaking ground today, and I think that's exciting. And I think the potential of what that could look like downtown, and for Republic fans, if that all becomes materialized, that's awesome. Who doesn't like new venues, new opportunities, new stuff, a new stadium? Ideally, when you build these, you have the best of the best. Sometimes you miss on some things, but look, you've made upgrades from certainly what they were out at Cal Expo. So could the Hornets get involved in that? Could there be further conversations between those two parties? Could the Hornets and Cal Expo truly become something that develops into something a lot more? Or can there still be something done at Sacramento State? There's questions and non-answers at this point there. The future of the A's and baseball in Sacramento brings up a lot of questions. I've said as a 1-year season ticket holder so far for the A's, I've enjoyed it thoroughly. Enjoyed it. I've had other people say, it doesn't feel like Major League Baseball there. Okay. It has to me. I've enjoyed it. But yeah, they're better stadiums. They're bigger stadiums. If baseball truly were to stay, whether it's expansion or the A's somehow, yep, there would need to be a new stadium. Then would the River Cats have to go? Would you keep AAA? Like, I feel like the future is bright, but uncertain for our Sacramento sports region. So I'd love to know what you think. We got a text here. I hope the Republic build a grass field training ground to host youth tournaments next to the new stadium. Yeah, when you build new stadiums, there's lots of opportunities for other things, and they got to try to think of everything, but you have cost-related items here too. And I don't know what the appetite is for all these sports for our fan base. We got a growing region. Sacramento is a big area. I mean, you start to count Roseville, Rockland, Elk Grove, Sacramento County, the city, outlying areas, West Sacramento. There's a big reach here, and it's not a long drive. And I've heard that as a common theme of those that I've seen at the A's games. It's like, man, going to Oakland to watch A's baseball or Giants baseball in San Francisco, it's an event. It's a day for people in this area. It is. And that's a chore. Doesn't mean it's not fun. It can be great. You have great memories. Go out there and go to restaurants or bars, or if it was in Oakland, a lot of people go out there and tailgate and spend the day. And make it a fun day with the family or friends. Absolutely. But how about if that same possibility is here? And so I'm going to be on watching this. I know the groundbreaking today is exciting for those with the Republic, and they should be. Looking forward to that. And I'll keep my eyes and ears open to what's going on with Sacramento State and their future desires to build a stadium, whether it's on campus or if CalExpo gets a little more steam behind it. We'll find out. But I'll let you know on that. In the meantime, I know they've made some renovations continuing, and their football season starts in less than 2 weeks. So, man, it's all coming together. All right, break time for us. When we come back, the Giants